Well, Democrats control the U.S. House, and they intend to exercise that control, apparently, even when it comes to how Republicans communicate with their voters back home. Some Republican lawmakers now accusing the Democrats of censoring their messages to the voters back home, denying one Republican his right to use a chart that details the Democrats' complex health care plan, and telling another congressman exactly how he could and could not describe the health care reform bill to his constituents, saying, quote, in the first paragraph, you need to change House Democrats unveiled a government-run health care plan to the House majority unveiled a public option health care plan. Don't say government-run, say public option. And don't say Democrats, say House majority. Well, Congressman John Carter is a member of the House Appropriations Committee. He's the one who got his message changed by the folks who run what is supposed to be a bipartisan committee, but it's basically Democrats who make this decision because they're in control. He's my guest now. Congressman, you're not happy about this. You don't think they have any business telling you how you speak to your folks back home.
No, you're right, Megan. It's a free speech issue. This is political correctness run amok from their standpoint. We have to use their talking points, or we can't talk to our folks back home. And when I saw that, I was offended by it. It's not the right thing. The American people expect to hear from their member of Congress back home, him speak the way he wants to speak about the issues that are going on in Washington.
I love how they said, what they said to you was, because you wanted to call it a government-run health care plan in a phone mail message, or phone message that you're going to be sending out to your constituents. So you were going to call it a government-run health plan. They come back and say, no, you can either call it a public option health care plan, or you can just say health care plan. But you can't have government-run. Let me ask you, Congressman, whether you're for or against the plan being unveiled by the House right now, by the Democrats, is there any question that there will be a government-run option provided?
Absolutely. The new option that they're offering is clearly a government-run health care plan. You can't call it anything else. And in fact, if you look at Kevin Brady's chart, you can see all of the agencies that are in there that are going to be helping the government run this health care plan.
It's not like they're going to subcontract this out to private insurers. I mean, it will literally be government run. Now, I understand that the language that they were proposing comes directly from Nancy Pelosi, from President Obama. These are the terms that you are assuming they have polled on that test better than government run?
I think that's true, and I think that this is, you can call it Obama speech or you can call it Pelosi speak. This is big brother or big sister telling you what you can and can't say. And you know what? The Constitution of the United States doesn't allow that.
What is the deal with this commission? I don't think most of our voters have ever heard of this franking commission, this bipartisan commission that gets to approve or disapprove the language you use when you mail things home to your constituents?
Well, they get, you know, the one thing you want to avoid, and rightfully so, and I would have no argument with this, is not to make it political. You can't say re-elect John Carter, re-elect Republicans. This is something they're not allowed to say. It's not a political document. It's a communication document of policy. But how we describe the policy is free speech, and they're trying to curtail free speech.
And can they shut it down altogether, sir, or is this just, because I read that this is an advisory thing, but as a practical matter, is it advisory, or once this commission tells you you can't use that language, it's a done deal, you cannot use that language?
If they tell you you can't use the language, you cannot use your franking privileges of the House of Representatives to use the language. So the only other solution would be pay for it yourself or use campaign funds. And then, of course, if it was campaign funds, it would be a campaign event. You can say anything political you wanted to. But this is not political speech.
Is this something new, sir? Because, I mean, in the past, I know that Nancy Pelosi has referred in franking commission-approved correspondence to, she's called it the Republican majority. It's not like identifying the opposition by name has been verboten in the past. Is this new?
From talking to people that have been around here a long time, they tell me this is brand new. It's never been done. Ms. Pelosi called us Republican culture of corruption, and the Franking Commission approved that. The previous chart, by the way, back during Hillary Care, which was identical to Mr. Brady's chart except wasn't in color, was approved by both Democrats and Republicans back in the 90s. So this is a drastic change from what's gone on in the past.
And then I know that your colleague Ken Calvert from California, he wanted to include in a mailing a direct quote from the President of the United States, a quote where President Obama was talking about end-of-life health care and saying, look, you know, we should at least let you know that maybe you're better off not having surgery but taking painkillers instead, which was controversial among seniors. And apparently the Franking Commission said you can't use that either?
That's right. They told Representative Calvert he couldn't use that language either, and that was a direct quote. And quite frankly, I mean, are they trying to hide from what their president said? That's the issue. It's all about their language being used, and whenever a mistake was made, which I would argue for seniors, that's a mistake. They don't want it put out to the public.
And so now, if you bother to appeal this Franking Commission's ruling, it's really self-defeating because that takes a long time, and even if you win, you lose because your message doesn't get out there. So basically, sir, you have one option, and that's to pay for it yourself or not do it at all, I guess.
Yeah, and in this world that they've created, where all these bills are rushed, and you don't get them till the 11th hour before the vote, to get your message out timely is critical, because things are moving way too fast. We're not having time to study and to make suggestions. So the American people need to be able to hear quickly. Well, and if they delay your message, it's as bad as killing your message.
And it's not like when you send these messages out, you don't identify I mean, they know you're a Republican. They know you've got your views. It's not like it's coming from some independent, bipartisan source, right? I mean, the people who would receive the message would understand that you are a partisan man.
That's exactly right. I mean, they know who we are. Well, I clearly identify who I am, what party I'm associated with, and so does all the other members that are up here that are doing this. But if you interfere with our message and we can't get there because of you have to use Pelosi speak, that's not right. That's a violation of the First Amendment.
Representative John Carter, thanks for coming on and telling us what's happening. We appreciate it.